This is our required public hearing on our annual service and delivery and budget plan. And this is a requirement through the EDCO to submit this information to California Department of Education. SELPA is the responsible party for submission. The information actually comes from our CaseNess system as well as the district's budgets, which they have submitted to the state as well. And so I think the way it's organized in your handout is we have our annual budget plan first, so I'll let Catalina go over that.
Okay. Hello again. What we have here, as Joan indicated, this is the report that we need to go ahead and submit to CDE. And basically, this is just the required information, which is what's on the front sheet there that's summarized. So that gives you a reflection of what our revenue is. So, as the SELPA, we receive $2,600,000 for local property taxes. We get a AB 602 entitlement of $59,230,000. Our federal local assistance is $19,960,000. Our preschool local entitlement is $911,000. Our federal preschools, as you can see all the way down, we have the federal preschool, we have infants, we have some other grants. Those might be our workability grants and our TPP grants, and then some other small grants that we have. So those are also compiled together. And then we have some pre-referral mental health revenue that we receive. And then we go ahead and I've identified our revenue limit dollars that we have. So this is the money that we receive from the state for each student. Basically, each special ed student, there's a revenue limit dollars. And it was based on a formula that was generated by county schools to project what the revenue limit would be for each one of our districts. And I did that back on, what's the date? The date was 9/29 when I got the information from county schools. And then the remainder of our ARA, the American Recovery Act funding for this year. The majority of it was budgeted last year, however, it was not all used last year. So some of those funds are actually being used this year, so that's reflected here. So you have a subtotal of $113,817,000, which reflects the encroachment, or which is the impact on the general fund of $52,493,000 for all of our districts. And that is, that's the revenue, that's the dollars that we receive from the state and or the federal government for special education. In the second half there, it reflects our expenditures for the entire year based on it's by goal. That's what the 5001 is. And the 5001 is our special education unspecified administrative costs, and there's quite a few different things that are included in there. And this is all of these codes are based on what is called the SACS code, which is the Standard Accounting Practices Code for the state of California. And there's guidelines of what needs to be charged to what types of codes. So we have the $32,175,000 in that area. For regionalized services, we have $4,167,000. Regionalized program specialists is $409,000. Infant services is $929,000. Preschool is $6,863,000. And then we have our severe and low incident services are $36,982,000. And our non-severe services are $84,783,000. So as you can see, basically, the way that we project what the encroachment is we're taking a look at our expenditures, what we know budgeted for what our expenses will be for the current year, and then based on whatever revenue we know that we're going to be receiving or that we anticipate receiving based on really the prior year. That's what is the difference for the $52 million for our encroachment. So this is the summary. This is all that's required for us to go ahead and submit to CDE. The next page, if you could turn over to the next page, this gives a breakdown of that same information based on, broken out by each district, county schools, as well as the SELPA. So if you take a look at the top section there, that's our 10-11 budgeted expenditures. And it's breaking it down in those same categories that we talked about on the front page. And it's breaking it out by each and every district. So you can see what district, like, say if you go ahead and you look at the in county operations and SELPA, you'll see for regionalized services in the 50/50. That's our the majority of our regional services budget, which is our 284 budget. So you can kind of see how money is spent in which areas, whether it's for non-severe or severe, preschool, infant, regionalized services, or the unspecified administration. So, and on the far right of the top there, it reflects the supplemental aids and services provided in a regular classroom or other environment. And these are all based right on the district's submission of their budgets. And there's a function code, which is, that's what this function actually means. And I pull this out of the information that the districts do submit. So this $6,976,000 is included in the $166 million. It's just a piece that's taken out to identify it. It could be spread apart. It could be spread as part of preschool, the severe and the non-severe. So that could be spread across the board that way. So that's where we are with our budgets. Yes?
Can you explain like the zeros on the preschool services on some of the schools and some of the zeros in some different districts?
Okay, specifically, let's take a look at that preschool. If you take a look at this as a way, and again, a little bit of a background. This information that I'm providing here is based on each district is required to submit what's called their unaudited actuals to the state by the 15th of September, I think it is. Maybe the 15th of October, 15th of September. And this information is extracted from the district information. So based on the information and the way that the districts are actually planning on serving their students this year, it shows that county, for preschool, county has the biggest portion. They have the biggest preschool program. They serve many of our districts. And then you have Altaloma, they have a preschool program. Central does not have a program, therefore they would not be budgeting any preschool dollars in their budget for preschool. Same with Chaffee, obviously they wouldn't have any. And then you head down to Etowanda. Etowanda has a preschool program. I'm taking a look at this, and I know Ontario Montclair has a program. So, see, it's up to each individual district how they're coding things. We have a guideline from CDE, and the assumption that I would make, since there are no expenditures for Ontario Montclair, they have broken those services into their severe and non-severe, because there are none here. And I know that they do run a program.
So do I, yeah.
So that's where we are with the preschool programs. And I know that some of our districts have recently started with their new preschool programs, and some of them may have been maybe coding them severe, non-severe rather than that. And that's, again, this is the information that is submitted directly from the district. So that's their expenditures. And then the revenue. Any other questions on the zeros? Is there another one you'd like me to kind of take a look at?
No, I just wanted to know about that. And so it just depends on the district and how they code it off.
Correct. Correct. And everything that the district is doing, each one of the districts, they all have to pass different kind of auditing procedures. The auditors come and review their books. So because they're coding, they may be coding a little bit differently. It does not mean that there's not anything, that they're not doing appropriately. It's passing audits. It's appropriate for, the way that they've decided to go ahead and budget their expenditures.
Right, but as a parent, when I look at this, I'm
Yes.
thinking, oh my God, they don't have preschool. These districts don't have,
Yeah.
and they're putting them all in county. And that, just as a parent looking at this right now.
Right.
Carolina, may I ask a question?
Oh, sure.
So you're taking questions as we go along?
Yeah, we're on the second page right now.
Okay.
We're reviewing the second page.
Well, I wanted to ask a question about the auditing process you mentioned. So what kind of audits are required of the SELPA?
The SELPA is part of county schools. Well, we're under the umbrella of county schools. So all of our accounting, all of our personnel, all of our kind of business operations are channeled through the county office. And the county office, as part of so our submission of our budgets, they're approved through superintendents, they get combined into the county schools budgets, and then it goes through the board of the county schools board. And
So
the
does
auditors,
I'm sorry, does the county board then approve the budget?
the county board includes, the budget is actually approved at the SELPA level, and the contents of that budget is incorporated into the county budget when they're submitting it. So there's, maybe Joan, I don't know if you want to.
Right, no, I mean, it's the
comment on that.
superintendent's council who approves the budget. Because the county office is our AU, it is all reflected in the county office budget, and that is where it's audited.
So I'm still not clear. When you say it gets incorporated into the county budget, who approves that budget? Who's the entity that approves that budget? Where the SELPA, I understand that it gets approved at the superintendent's council level, and then you were saying it gets incorporated into the county budget.
It does get included into the county budget, and the county board does approve that budget, which includes the SELPA portion.
Okay, thank you.
And then yes, because the county schools is our AU, all the auditing processes go through the county. So when the auditors are there and they're reviewing, say they're taking a look at, say, our regional services, and they're questioning something, or they're wanting to verify or want anything, county office will contact us. We'll provide them the information because we have the information here, or we'll direct them where we have it, even at county. So
Okay, so does your entire budget get incorporated as part of that audit, or does a portion of your budget get incorporated?
The audit is they review the county budget, which ours is included in there. So when they're looking at anything, whether it's county, any of the county budgets, which does include this because it's incorporated because they are our AU, they go ahead and they look at all of our budgeting the same way.
Okay. Are you aware of the specific local, state, and federal requirements that would require an audit?
I personally am not real involved in that. Again, all of those audits are going through county. And maybe, Joan, maybe you can help a little bit more with that. I don't know. County office that's where our auditors review all of our data, is all reviewed there. So we're under that structure, and that's where it is. So specifically, I don't get the questions from the auditors. They don't come to me. They come directly to county schools, and then county schools request the information from me.
So when you say county schools, you mean the county superintendent of schools?
Yes, the county. Yeah, not Gary Thomas personally, but the office, the business offices there. So they're accounting offices, and so the auditors go in.
Which
and
are
they
under
review.
the umbrella of
Correct.
the county superintendent of schools.
Correct.
Okay, thanks, Catalina.
You're welcome. And then if we go down to the revenue allocations, again, the source documents for this, just so you're aware of how this is built, because our budgets are changing all the time. We're doing budget revisions, districts are doing budget revisions, we're all doing budget revisions. And the source document for this is the funding model that was dated 9/8/10. So September 8/10, I use the same information for all of our districts when we're talking about budgeting our revenue. And then